We're going to show you how you can import a 3D model and set it up for rotary machining. So I'm going to import a 3D model, and in this case it's an STL file. So this is a meshed file. Now as I said earlier, ArtCAM has many different file types that can be imported. If we take a look at the list here, you can see all the triangulated and surface models such as our IGES, our STEP, our 3DM, STL, and many other types that we can import. So in this case, we're going to import this column STL. What it does is it takes the mesh or the surface and allows me to set it up for machining and for modeling. So first I'm going to set up a few values that I need in order to unwrap it. What it does now is it creates a new model for me. It takes this mesh or this surface and it converts it to an actual ArtCAM file. Once it becomes a 3D relief or an ArtCAM file, I can alter this. I can change it, I can smooth it, I can sculpt it, I can add parts to it, I can take parts off of it. So I can do whatever I want with this 3D model that I've imported, and then we can set it up for machining. So what we're going to do with this model is we're just going to import it. We're going to skip past any alterations, saying we're happy with this finished column, and we're going to go ahead and set up the toolpath for a rotary machine. What it's doing right now is opening up a brand new model at the size of the column. We're looking at the column right now unwrapped, so as if it were sliced open and flattened out. It's very easy for me to just go ahead and quickly view it wrapped, and here we can see the wrapped column as an ArtCAM file, which is now editable and I can change it. Now before setting up for machining, you might want to take a file like this and get customer approval. What we can do is set it up as we want to view it, and then we have some lights and materials that we can set up or change. So I can choose to change how this part looks. What I can do inside of ArtCAM is change the different material types. There's all kinds of different metals, woods, other materials as well, including a few marbles. For example, we have a red marble that we could set up. As you can see here, the red marble across this part. We also have a white marble. Now say we want to leave it in the white marble. If you're happy with this look, and this is what the final product is going to look like, you can actually take this and save this 3D piece exactly as we're looking at it right now as a JPEG, a bitmap, a TIFF, so you can save it as a picture and you can send it to your customer for final approval before actually going through the machining process. Another newer file type that we can save out of ArtCAM is a 3D PDF. Now this is a fairly newer file given out from Adobe in the last probably year and a half. What it is you can save this out as a meshed 3D PDF. Your customer can then open it, they can rotate it and look at it from all angles, they can zoom in and out. And the nice thing is they can't alter or change the file, they can only look at it. So you can use this for approval before, again, actually machining. So let's go ahead and look at the machining portion of this. As I said earlier, we're going to set this up for rotary axis or 4th axis machining. Typically it's going to be set up like this on the machine, so it's laying horizontally, and you're going to have a spindle on either end holding the part in place. What happens is your tool comes straight down from the top, and as your part machines, the part actually will rotate small amounts at a time. So the tool will come straight down and go from one length all the way through to the other length, and then your part will rotate a small degree. And then the tool will come down again and cut the full length of the part. This is typically how you're going to set up your rotary machining. So let's set up that toolpath inside of ArtCAM. ArtCAM's toolpaths are also fairly easy to set up. It's pretty much filling in the blanks. So I'm going to choose to machine here the entire model, the whole relief, set up a tolerance, and we need to choose a tool. We have an entire tool database to pick from. In this case, I'm going to select a fairly large ball nose. I'm going to select a 3/4 inch. The reason for that is this column is actually just about 8 feet tall, so this is a very large piece. So I want to use as big a ball nose as possible so I can speed up the machining time. I'm going to select my tool, and you can also in here, you set up everything the machine needs. So the machine would need to know the feed rate, plunge rate, spindle speed, step over, things like this. You set this all up inside of ArtCAM so that when you're done, you just send the file to the machine and the machine will cut it for you. Let's go ahead and calculate this toolpath. What it's going to do is wrap our toolpath around our relief. Now it just takes a few seconds to go through the calculation process, and we'll show you how you can quickly change and alter anything you need for this toolpath. So what it's calculated for us is wrapping this red, which is hard to see right now, it's one solid block, but it's really made of all small lines controlling our machine. Now currently this is machining side to side, and this would be probably pretty inefficient. And it's pretty easy to change in ArtCAM. You have multiple strategies. We have a raster, which shows in this picture going back and forth, so it's basically straight lines. We also have a spiral, which will work its way inwards. And another one are our 3D offsets. These go in a spiral pattern as well, but these are very advanced toolpaths that will take into consideration your whole surface, and as it goes up and down, it will bring your tool closer together to get more detail just in areas that it needs to. Now in this case we are going to stick with the raster because this is going to be your fastest machining type. And we're going to change the angle to 90. What this is going to do is instead of going back and forth, it's going to give me nice long moves across the whole part, which will be faster for our machining time. So it just goes through a very quick recalculating process, in which case it takes that red toolpath again and forms it over the 3D relief. Now if we take a closer look at the actual toolpath itself, these red lines that you see, this is what controls the machine. So these red lines that start moving up and down, this is what tells your CNC router to move up and down and cut out this part. So for this example, we've been able to see how to import a 3D model. It doesn't have to be a rotary model. It can be any type of 3D model, a flat model, a wrapped model, a full model. We've imported the 3D model and we've set it up for rotary machining.